Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Christine, and this week I'm going to be talking about Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I was a little bit scared to go into this one just because I love The Martian so much, and then Artemis sucked so much. So I was like, well, is Project Hail Mary going to be good or is it going to be crap? So I thought, well, I'll buy it. I'm going to read it. We'll see how it goes. So I started to read it just before I went on holiday, and imagine my surprise when a couple days after I started it, a trailer dropped for the movie. I didn't even know they were making a movie of Project Hail Mary, but here we are, and it looks pretty good. Though I will say there's kind of a bit of a spoiler in the trailer, so if that kind of stuff matters to you, I would maybe try to avoid it before you read it. If you're planning on reading it, read the book before you go see the trailer. You probably have already anyway, but it would have been nice if they hadn't included that plot twist. So, because what I'm referring to, and if you've read the book, you'll know, I'm not going to mention just in case anybody wants to be left in the dark, but it would have been nice that plot point doesn't happen till about 1/3 or halfway through the book. So it would have been nice for that to have remained a surprise. Nonetheless, it's, it's on the dust jacket in the description of the story anyway, so maybe it's not that big of a deal. But, I can understand a lot of people are frustrated that it was in the trailer. Anyway, one way or the other, the book was so good. It was really enjoyable. It was very fast paced, and much like The Martian, there is a lot of science in it, which I really appreciate in a science fiction novel, because so many times for a lot of people, science fiction just means it's set in space or it's set on an alien world. And it's like, okay, well, there's no science to that. I personally wouldn't call Star Wars science fiction. It's fantasy. It's fun, but it's not science fiction because there's zero science there. So there's a lot of science in this one. I loved it. I don't always understand it, but the way it's written is very accessible. And the key is just let it wash over you. It's kind of like with a mystery novel, there's so many questions, just let it wash over you, it will become clear. And in the same way, this is one of those cases of just trust the process, as they say. I loved the character. I will say, if I were to rate this out of 5 stars, I would give it a 4 simply because I can't say that Ryland Grace, the main character, is that much different from Mark Watney from The Martian. They're kind of the same guy. So that was a little tiny criticism that I would give this book. It would have been nice if he had been a little bit more different from Mark Watney, but it's still so enjoyable. I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to give away too much of the story, which is kind of hard to do. So the basic plot line is it starts with a man waking up on a spaceship and he has no memory. And gradually, as time progresses, his memory starts to come back, and then he realizes, oh, he's been sent into space to stop the end of the world with his crewmates, but he's the only one that survived. So it's kind of a race against time. It's really funny and really charming. It's the perfect holiday read because I find a lot of my enjoyment of Andy Weir's books is in their optimism. That's not to say that the book is light. We're dealing with the end of the world and what that means, but the character always approaches each problem with optimism, which I really appreciate, especially these days. It's just nice to read something like that. He's got some very hard decisions to make, and you can argue whether he made the right decisions or not, but it's always from a place of wanting to do good and wanting to get to the end product of saving the world. So I really appreciate the optimism. I appreciate the humor. Of course, it's very funny. It had some really interesting plot plot twists in it as well. Obviously, I won't give them away, but there are things that come up about these characters that I really did not see coming, and I really appreciated. I wish I could say more than that, but I can't. So that's as much as I can really say about the book. It's very fun, very engaging, perfect holiday read, if you ask me. It's much more The Martian than it is Artemis. Artemis was terrible. The Martian was great. This is very much in that camp. So I would highly recommend it. As far as the trailer for the movie goes, it looks really good. It's not coming out till spring of next year, so there's a ways to go. But as far as casting is concerned, I mean, Sandra Hüller as Eva Stratt is exactly who I pictured. That is the best casting I've seen. Ryan Gosling is playing Ryland Grace, and yeah, I can see that. I like that casting choice. He's really good at comedy and serious, so it's the perfect amalgamation of those two things. So I'm really looking forward to the movie. I think it's going to be really good. So that's something to look forward to for next spring. It's a great read. It's proper science fiction in that there's a lot of science in it, but it's also very accessible and fun, really well paced, really well written. Loved it. So if you're looking for a good beach read, Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, I would highly recommend this one. Anyway, that's it for me this week. We'll catch you next time.